Hello, welcome back to Living Tai Chi. This video is part 1 of 3 discussing the principles of longevity. So in 2023 and many years before that, scientists have been working on the modern methods of longevity, and they've done quite amazing work in that field. And I'll touch on just a couple of those concepts before we come back to the universal laws and principles of longevity. So they can do things like they can change your DNA, change the efficiency of your cells. They can, via epigenetics, activate the genes that they want within the DNA and not activate other genes within the DNA. So quite amazing work. However, as always with science, they need to thoroughly test it and monitor for potential side effects and so forth. But anyway, I'll park that for the moment and talk about the universal principles that have existed forever. Okay, so let's view this green yin yang as the individual. And the individual, to be healthy and well and live a long time, they need to have a harmony and a flow within themselves. And they are a universe within themselves. So the individual universe, you can call it that. And when you consider the basic things that individual universe needs, they need to have a balance of diet, exercise, sleep, mind and body, yin and yang, dark and light, high and low, east and west, winter and summer. All of those concepts, there has to be a harmonious flow and a balance. Okay, now the individual together with other individuals is part of a bigger environment, and that bigger environment is also an interplay of yin and yang. And to the individual and to his or her environment, there's going to be interactions with things like, obviously, night and day. You need to sleep at night and you need to be up in the day, absorb the sunlight as nature intended. Obviously, there's a component of career, and the individual needs to find the right balance of interaction with his or her career. There's also family. There's a yin and yang interplay. And the idea is, whatever the situation you're in, you have to find that right and correct balance that makes sense to you, your mind and your body. Similarly for community, nature and the environment. As I mentioned before, get out into the sun, get out into nature, have enough exposure and enough of a balance and interaction with your natural environment. The seasons. In summer, we're out and about and quite a lot compared to winter. Winter is about a bit more rest, a bit more hibernation, if you can call it that. So it's not advisable, for example, to fight the winter and be so active as you would in the summer. You have to flow with the seasons. And other things. I've got social media here. You have to have the right balance of interaction with how you deal with multimedia, because too much of it, too much of anything is going to be a disharmony and therefore have a negative impact. Okay, so some key principles considering the whole yin and yang interplay with from a small scale to a large scale. You have to maintain the following 4 factors. Always in motion. Your blood must always be flowing. You need to always be adaptable, always be learning. A harmonious flow of physical aspects, mental aspects, everything is you're always aiming for flow and harmony. Doesn't always happen, but that should be the aim. You need to tune into the right cycles. If something doesn't feel right, you're trying to interact with something and you're clashing, you need to listen to those intuitive cues and find out the cycles that make sense to you and what you should be involved with. And finally, not many people, I guess, remember this, is the connection between the mind and the body is so important in terms of the mind controlling the body appropriately to interact with both the universe, its own universe, and the environment around it. So when we come back to modern longevity, as I said, it's amazing work. They're doing some amazing things, but they need to, and I think in many ways they are doing that, they need to take the modern and the universal principle and bring them together. Otherwise, they could make, for example, this superhuman, but if that person was imbalanced to start with, then they're going to create a super imbalanced individual. So that's part one. I hope that you found that useful, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.